All right, joke time is over. Work time has begun.
Good morning, this is day 15 of my self-retreat video project. Let's go from the beginning. Let's start the day from the beginning, and let's analyze the process of getting up. Let it be my today's case study, the real life case study. A very typical, standard, universal situation of having woken up and not wanting to get up from bed. And based on the principles I'm trying to learn more experientially during this project, let's look at this situation more closely in terms of like treating direct experience and potential direct experiences in the future as the higher power, in a way, as something that is most important, because from my experience it is the most important thing, the human direct experience. So at the beginning, let's say I woke up and it seems so comfortable to be in bed, to hug my pillow, whatever. It's warm, it's safe, and in the external world there are many expectations from me. I have many tasks to do. I'm supposed to do things, and the idea of having to do all of them is not so comfortable. So from that point of view, it provides more pleasure, more pleasant experience to stay in bed for the sake of the current present moment. It's better to for the next moments to stay in bed than to get out of it. But when I think of the next moments, like in two different scenarios, I stay in bed or I get up from bed and just go for a morning walk, which happened today. There are more details, and the most important detail, the most important factor that I think should be taken into consideration is the thoughts that will be happening, will be occurring, will be arising in my consciousness. And it's pretty clear what kind of thoughts I can expect in that situation. If I stay in bed for another 5-10 minutes, then okay, the pleasant experience of having my pillow and having my bed will still be there, but they will be less and less intensive. They will be like more and more taken for granted in a way. But the thoughts arising will be like, oh no, I was supposed to get up in the morning and I'm staying in bed, I'm useless, blah 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 blah. And this is not a pleasant experience, of course. Just the thoughts of guilt, the thoughts of disappointment, of resentment, they are not pleasant experience by any means. And it's good to be aware of that, basically, that even if I practice observing my thoughts, even if I practice my mindfulness skills, the thoughts will still be there. Maybe they will be less intensive, maybe they will not be providing that much pain, but they will be still there, and I know what kind of harm they can do to me. Whereas in the other scenario, so I get up from bed, I either take a shower or just go for a morning walk, or just go out and breathe the fresh air. Even if it's a little bit humid, it's still kind of fresh air in the morning. Then it's still pleasant experience. It's maybe even more pleasant experience than staying in bed. And the thoughts that I can expect in that situation are oh, it's good, I did something from the morning, I'm up, I'm alive, I feel energy, even if it's like sometimes difficult for the first 2-3 minutes, then soon after, in most cases, especially in most cases, I will feel better, like in terms of my self-esteem, in terms of judging myself. Again, judging myself, it's something that I want to learn to be less intensive, but I will never escape from it. Let's be honest. Everyone, I think, will keep judging themselves. So I think if we look more closely at this and the answer becomes more and more obvious, it's very difficult not to only make a decision to get up, but just to execute it. And there are other factors that I think should be taken into consideration, because this situation is very simple, very obvious in a way, but I think the same principles apply to actually every decision that we can make, that we can think of in our lives. Every decision, like based on this principle, based on these principles, will enable us to make the best decisions possible, I think. Because also you need to take into consideration, for example, the process of getting up, how much of a discomfort it will provide. Like getting up, when I thought about it, just try to divide the process of getting out of bed, getting out of the apartment to be out, which already I know that there will be a pleasant experience. It's just I try to look at it more as closely as possible. So I just figure out that the next step I need to do is just, I was lying like this, so the next thing I have to do is just take my hand and just do, like, take another hand and use it to get out. And you know, when you get to this smaller and smaller installments, if I can call it that way, it will become more and more, it will become easier basically to do an action which seems quite difficult at the beginning. Okay, if the situation was different and the pain related to the process of getting up would be different, then maybe even decision would be different. Maybe the right decision would be not to get up. But the situation as it is like the most typical, the most standard as it is. So I think it's not a matter of motivating myself more and more, because it simply doesn't work in the long term. It doesn't work that I will listen to somebody, get up, blah, 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 or even talking to myself, get up, you can do it, something like this. It just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. But looking more and more closely and finding that the answer is really obvious, and you don't just know it intellectually, but you know, you don't demolish your concepts in mind, such as, you know, oh, there is so much I have to do during the day. I don't know, and there's a fear because of that. But once you look at it more closely, the fear is just an illusion, really. It's just some concept built up by all the thoughts that we have in our minds. So once you not only know the answer like intellectually, but you just feel it, that, oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do, and you're just living in accordance with all the mechanisms that run you, basically, then it gets easier and easier. And that's what I wanted to share. Like the case study of getting up, like I said, it might be pretty obvious and so on, but I think the same principles apply to every other situation, and I will try to keep implementing it in other situations, and keep reporting it in the next videos. So for the moment, thank you very much for your attention. Yeah, and see you in the next video. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.